It's called Havana syndrome. It's called Havana good time, chat. All right, let's keep going.
This decision by him of how to respond to this is just as much economic as it is political. The good news, as you talked about, Xi Jinping has had time to prepare. We saw this coming, of course. But they have a controlled economy. So they have levers that they can pull in order to shield their economy from tariffs. So, for example, they're already devaluing the currency just to make their exports a little bit cheaper. And that's why we're seeing Asian markets, especially the Shanghai Composite, rallying on the hope that perhaps there is going to be a deal here.
Yeah, so who has the upper hand in this, we'll call it a chess match right now, and we will see more evidence of that today.
We'll see.
It's great to see you, Zane. Thank you so much. John.
All right, joining us now, Jason Furman, the former chair of the Council of Economic Advisors and now a professor of economic policy practice at the Harvard Kennedy School. Professor, thanks so much for being with us. So is this a case now of no harm, no foul, the tumult over?
Absolutely not. This is above and beyond what the president campaigned on doing. And at the time, most people discounted those threats and thought he'd only fulfill.
This surely this is a sign of stability and order when you got a situation where people are like, oh, no one believed his campaign promises. I mean, come on now. Just a normal political process here in the United States of America where you just go, remember when he said tariffs is the most beautiful word in the English language? No one fucking believed him. They thought maybe it's like the 10th most beautiful word in the English language. Oh, man, we all thought he was playing around, dude. Why would you think that? Why would you think that he was playing around? This shit is so goddamn annoying. This cannot be the underlying basis of your political identity where you go, I'm just voting for this guy because of vibes. I hate this. I'm voting for this guy because of the goddamn vibes. I don't think that he's serious or sincere about his policies, or rather, I haven't really thought thoroughly what would happen if he implemented these policies. Like, not the self-glaze too much here, but I've been fucking screaming about this for a year at this point. Since he started talking about the tariff shit, I was like, this is going to have a really long-lasting, damaging impact on global trade. How do you not see that? It's the same principle behind mass deportations. You can't do that because it's like, one, incredibly inhumane, two, logistically impossible to do, and three, would collapse American agriculture overnight. For no reason either, by the way, for no good reason. Like, that's not a real fear that people have. It's just completely unwarranted. It improves nothing. And it's just about being a bad person, being mean for the sake of cruelty in and of itself. It pisses me off. It pisses me off when people are just like, well, I didn't think that he was going to do this. I thought he was just joking. Okay, well, I thought he was going to do this, but I didn't think the impact would be this bad. It's like, well, you're a fucking dumbass then. What do you mean? There are plenty of people who knew that it was going to be bad. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? What the hell is this?
I'm part of them. Tariffs are still very, very high, and we're about to start seeing it in the real economy.
That's a long-winded way of calling Trump supporters stupid. No, Democrats have this stupid dog in them too. There's a lot of people who have this stupidity in them. And it's partially a consequence of, like, I guess, reaping the rewards of living here in the United States of America and having some semblance of stability for so long, despite unstable leadership time and time again. But like, or a lack of confidence in any form of governance actually following through on their agendas. Americans just don't know a world where a politician says they're going to do something and they follow through on it. That's what it is. And they also quite literally do not believe the impact of said legislative agenda until it happens. We saw this. We saw this with the abortion stuff. Every single fucking politician said abortion is murder. Abortion is murder. Every single fucking right-wing politician said abortion is murder. Abortion is murder. You can't do murder. And then, lo and behold, Roe v. Wade gets overturned after the Supreme Court justices straight up lied to the American public and said it was a super precedent, but then they reversed it. And then everyone was like, okay, some murder is cool, actually. I think we got to do some exceptions for murder. Why did they do that? Why did they all of a sudden go, it's not actually all murder. Some of the murder is awesome. I love when you do the murder, actually. Abortion is murder, but some murder is great. Like, why did they do that? It's because people immediately went, oh my God, I never really thought that if abortion was illegal, that my daughter might need to get an abortion one day and due to a medical complication, for example, and not be able to get it and die. Like, that's fucked up. That's really bad. I didn't think about this. It's like, why didn't you think about this? It's kind of the whole point. The whole point of why we shouldn't be setting these like erroneous standards for no fucking reason, because it's going to be ultimately harmful. That's like, there are plenty of people who've been yelling about this for years. I've been yelling about this for years. Same shit with the tariffs. Same shit with mass deportation. Same shit now with the erosion of due process and the erosion of the First Amendment. These are concepts that are literally being taken away from all of us right now. And it's alarming. And I keep ringing the alarm bells. But if you ask the average American, they have no ability to understand that this is fucked up. They have no ability to think, oh, this might actually harm me down the line. Americans are always playing catch up. Liberals and Republicans alike, liberals and conservatives alike, they're always playing catch up, where they go, oh man, I voted for this guy. I think what he's doing is good. I didn't realize that it would inevitably impact me. Shit, the leopard's eating my face party, always.
In the prices that families pay, in the layoffs that companies are going to be doing.
All the reporting, it was the bond market that spooked the president and forced his hand, led him to blink here. Can you explain, for all of us who may not have taken Act 10, exactly what was happening with the bond market and if those fears are still over, or fears are still existent, I should say?
Yeah, normally when you're going into a downturn, you would think that the Fed is going to cut interest rates and interest rates are going to come down. But what was really scary was that interest rates were going way up. And that's because investors around the world, reportedly some of them in Japan, but around the world and in the United States, were more nervous about the United States. They didn't trust our country. They didn't want to lend to our country. And because of that, that made interest rates go up, just like any other borrower who's not particularly creditworthy is going to end up with higher interest rates.
In the New York Times reporting that the president knows what that means. As someone who worked in real estate, when interest rates start going up, it just gets harder to do business. What do you think China sees here? We just heard from Zain Asher on this. Do you think they see this as a chance now to talk? Do they feel isolated, or do they see now that the president will blink when facing certain pressures?
The president has shown over and over again a willingness to blink. In his first term with China, when he would negotiate deals with them, it was largely deals about how to not escalate further.
Oh, look at that. After yesterday's pause, I was like, okay, back from the edge, but I'm still worried about recession dynamics taking hold. I didn't think that 24 hours later, we'd be back to staring at this chart of long-term yields. I mean, part of the issue is that I shouldn't even be calling it a pause. It's giga tariffs on China. Yeah, this is what I mean. Yesterday, we all looked at the market being green, and I told you this is an insane moment, okay? This is an insane moment where people are very clearly demonstrating that the stock market does not have the fundamentals baked into it, where very clearly people are just hoping on a dream. They're wish casting for stability when no semblance of stability exists. I told you this. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy to go, yeah, actually, things are fine now because we only have 10% tariffs universally and like 200% tariffs on China, our largest trading partner. That's crazy. What do you mean? What the fuck do you mean the stock market is supposed to normalize in that process? What are you talking about? It was just a hope and a dream, dude. People were just wish casting stability. I don't know how so many intelligent people looked at this situation and went, oh, it's rebounding. Finally. Okay. There's a brief moment of respite for 90 days. It's like, no, there isn't. There literally is no respite here. Are you fucking stupid? I mean, I guess the answer is yes. I don't know if it was stupidity, denial, or naivete. It's crazy. Jeff Stein from WAPO says, I know this is an incredibly old and boring point now, but it's remarkable watching how the ostensibly data-driven stock market is driven so heavily by vibes. Shout out to Kyla Scanlon. Nothing has changed from yesterday's surge to today's decline, other than everyone realizing the tariffs on China are now 125%, even though this was known yesterday. That's what I mean. I am not a finance guy. As Stocky correctly pointed out, I don't know shit about the stock market. But the one thing I do know is that it is psychotic to assume that things got better when we are trying to use a hatchet to sever ties with our fucking largest trade partner. Are you stupid that you thought things were going to get better? It is so obvious an indication of the market's irrationality right here with what happened yesterday. And all these dumb fucks posting the green as though it's any indication of where things are going. Like, what are we talking about? You don't have to be a fucking finance bro or even understand market fundamentals to look at the situation and go, hey guys, I know a lot of people have this unfounded confidence all of a sudden because Donald Trump at least backed away from some of the most meaningful parts of his agenda. But things are still pretty bad, don't you think? At this point, it's like they want the line to keep going up because that's all they've known. So they'll hold on to any glimmer of hope to make the line go up. It is quite literally held together by a bunch of people hallucinating an alternative. A quick read of Stock Trading for Dummies would empower the average educated adult with all the knowledge they need to realize how fucked the situation is. VIX and VVIX are diverging from each other, i.e. professionals are out of the market right now and retail traders are not known as the most rational actors in the financial markets. Anyone that says this is coping. You are coping. If you think institutional traders do not also engage in this exact same irrational behavior, you are wrong. You are unimaginably wrong. First and foremost, I don't even believe that retail traders could automatically hit the panic button and cause the market to move in this direction in this decentralized manner where they all just came to the same conclusion. Okay? You cannot do that without institutions. That's number one. Number two, institutional traders also engage in the same exact irrational behavior. The exact same irrational behavior. 100%. So the reality of the matter is the market movements from yesterday to today are not just done by retail traders losing confidence or gaining confidence out of nowhere, whereas like institutions themselves like are still solidly on board with the market fundamentals and they knew that this wasn't going to happen, blah, blah, blah. No. That's not real. It's just like beyond cope. You are doing the same. I think you're doing the same, demonstrating the same naivete that I talk about all the time, which is the infallibility of institutions. The idea that like no matter what happens, there's some adults in the room and they're still holding on to the concepts that I learned in my textbooks. Okay? Asmus Chat is cheering for the 125% tariffs and wanting to go up to 400%. I love that. They're so stupid. I love that. I love how fucking stupid Asmongold's fan base is. It's amazing. They are unironically bringing out the pitchforks to literally shove it in their own asses. There is nothing funnier to me than watching a bunch of fucking hogs cheering on initiatives that fuck them. Okay? It's funny. I'm sorry. It's fucking hilarious.
Rather than to de-escalate. But now we're starting from triple-digit tariffs on China in the United States, nearly 100% tariffs on the United States in China. It's really, really hard to picture how either of our economies will be able to function deliver job gains, deliver benefits to consumers in the midst of a very, very extreme trade war. So some which way, someone's going to need to blink, or else we're both.
This is not real. Make showers great again. Go fuck yourself. That's not real. That's funny. Okay. If something goes down 10%, then an up percent, are you back where you started? No, because a decrease is from a bigger number. E.g., 100 minus 10 is 90. Plus 9 is 99. Huh? Down 10%, then up 10%. Then why is your e.g. not 100 minus 10, 90, plus 10, 100? Where'd the 9 come from? Oh my. What is going on? Why would it be plus 10 at that point? Does he think 10% of 90 is still 10? Does he think 10% means just 10 always? Like not 10%, but just 10, the actual number. No, I don't care. No. No. We're not doing this. I can't stare into the abyss. This is like when No. This is like when I watched videos of fucking people being like, how can the mirror see what's behind this towel? I can't do that. I cannot fucking do that. I am not doing that. Stop it. Stop it. There's already enough stupidity that I have to deal with on a fucking daily basis. What the fuck? There's already enough. We're laughing about people being like, hell yeah, make the fucking tariffs 400%, big dog. Yeah, I'll just grind harder. Like, people are like, yeah, make those tariffs 400%. I'll just fucking grind harder. Make the cost of living impossible to survive. I'll fucking survive somehow.
Going into recession.
Talk to me about what you are looking for, I guess, in the next hours and days. Everything's moving so quickly here. There's so many twists. But what are the next shoes that could drop in your mind?
I mean, to me, it's number one, are we hearing about more new tariffs? The president has talked about tariffs on pharmaceuticals, on semiconductors, on lumber. Is he still talking about those new tariffs? Number two, that 10% on every country in the world, that's pretty high. That goes on all our friends and foes alike, with the exception of Russia, which doesn't get it. Is that there to stay, or is that part of the negotiation? And then number three, what's happening with China?